Well, hello, this is Deborah Johnson, and today's message of comfortable with the uncomfortable is an amazing message because this is all about change, mid-career, half-time of life. And as we reach that stage of life, change often it feels less like an adventure and more like this huge disruption. And so the roles we play, the skills we've built, and the routines we've mastered, they've given us confidence and stability. But when the shifts come, whether career, family, health, or identity, they often leave us just grappling with something really deeply unsettling and uncomfortable. So becoming comfortable with the uncomfortable is one of the most important skills we can develop in this stage of life. And it's not about ignoring the pain or pretending transitions are easy, but instead it's about embracing uncertainty as a pathway to growth, opportunity, and ultimately reinvention. So as we answer what's next, in this episode and article, we'll explore why discomfort is essential and how to navigate it with resilience and practical principles that you can apply. So stay tuned. This podcast is brought to you by DJ Works Media and HalftimeSuccess.com, offering resources and insights for those at mid-career or the halftime of life. Explore our diverse categories, including courses, coaching, health, music, software, and travel. We're here to help you make this stage of life your best ever. So get our new articles, downloads, and podcasts by signing up for weekly updates at goalsforyourlife.com/newsletter. Now, let's dive into today's episode. As we speak about being comfortable with the uncomfortable, we're going to first talk about the role of discomfort in growth. So we'll just think about the first time that you tried something new, whether it was riding a bike, learning an instrument, or giving your first big presentation. Well, I can still remember the first time I was asked to sing this small little solo in front of our church. I was probably about 12 years old. I still remember my knees were shaking so much that I could see the skirt of my dress. It was just moving. Thought everybody could see it. And somehow I got through it. But discomfort was my companion. I had to embrace it. And my heart was racing. My palms were sweaty. And I'm sure probably made mistakes, but those mistakes were necessary to master the skill of any type of performance. And that's a field I've been in for so many years. And at mid-career or halftime of life, we sometimes forget that discomfort is still a teacher. We think we should already just know it all. Oh, we've done so much, but yet if we never step into that uncomfortable, we're going to never really expand our potential. And growth and comfort, they rarely just coexist. So why does change feel harder at mid-career or halftime of life? Well, when we're young, change is almost always, it's just expected. People cheer us on when we switch majors or we try moving to a new city or, we change careers. But in mid-career, midlife, change often, it just raises eyebrows. I mean, we might hear questions like, why would you leave a good job now? Or, oh, isn't it too late to start over, especially with the growth of AI? Ooh, that's a big one. What if it doesn't work out? What will you do then? I mean, all of those voices, whether they're external or they're internal, they can make us really just hesitate. Yet the discomfort of change, it's not a sign of failure. It's proof that you're moving beyond just the familiar. My husband, Greg, he reminds me now and then of one of the hardest sales that you will ever make is the one to yourself. And I personally have to reaffirm that from time to time in my own life. The hardest sale you ever make is yourself. Affirming what you are, who you are, and your skills and your experience. So here's some stories of midlife reinvention. History and real life, they're filled with these people who have embraced discomfort to create extraordinary second chapters. And I've written about these. And I do give some resources and sources in the article that comes with this. What about Julia Child? She was working in advertising before she just picked up a French cookbook at the age of 36. And by 50, she was publishing her own groundbreaking book. What about Vera Wang? She didn't design her first dress until she was age 40. And today her name is synonymous with high fashion. And Colonel Sanders, he was in his 60s when he turned a small fried chicken recipe into a global franchise. He enjoyed that the rest of his life. And none of those reinventions, they just happened in just a total comfort zone. Each story began with a decision to embrace the unknown. So I'm going to cover just 5 brief principles for becoming comfortable with the uncomfortable. And hopefully you're able to apply a couple of these. Number 1, reframe discomfort as progress. And this is a mindset. So instead of just seeing discomfort as a red flag, recognize it as evidence that you're moving forward. And much like a muscle that aches after exercise, discomfort, it signals growth. Now, to apply this, keep a discomfort journal. And each week, maybe write down one situation that just feels uncomfortable and what you learn from it. And you know what? I keep a small journal, small miracle list. And each time I review it, it affirms how small steps and miracles, they lead to larger outcomes. So number 2, anchor to your core values. Now change, it can just shake up your routines, titles, or even your sense of identity. And what remains steady are your core values, who you are. Your values become your compass in uncertain waters. So check out the appendix of my book, Stop Circling. You can see if you're watching the video, you'll see some of the pictures behind me of my book. But in that appendix, I cover core values of 2 main areas, faith and character. And they're so relevant this time of life, at mid-career, halftime of life. And to apply this, list maybe just the top 3 to 5 values in your life and check these often. And when discomfort arises, you just, double check against those values. And number 3, build a circle of trust. Wow, this is so important. And going through change alone, it amplifies fear. Surround yourself with the people who believe in reinvention and resilience. And I write about relationship circles in my book, Women at Halftime, and understand that those circles may change somewhat through different stages of your life, but developing that close circle, extremely important and beneficial. And I have friends I can call on anytime and trust. So the application to this is identify at least one mentor or one peer and one accountability partner who will walk through some of your transition areas. I have an accountability partner as well. It's wonderful. So 4, take small, brave steps, little tiny ones. Now, discomfort, it often feels just overwhelming when we only focus on that big picture. So break it down into those small, brave actions. A new physical workout is your great illustrations. And when we were training for our recent biking trip from Madrid, Spain to Porto, Portugal, we trained not only on a stationary bike, but outdoors on local small hills. And it paid off immensely with really a safe and very enjoyable trip. But we took small steps. So to apply this, each week, commit to one little tiny micro brave step that nudges you closer to your goal. And 5, trust the long game. Discomfort isn't forever. It's a season. So like planting seeds in the ground, growth may be invisible at first, but it's happening. And we see this every year in our yard. Recently, the grapes that we've trimmed back to look more like sticks in the ground, they end up overflowing with vines and an abundance of delicious grapes and even grape juice. Watching this type of growth is a great place to be encouraged. I am encouraged constantly. And so to apply this when discomfort just feels so overwhelming, remind yourself it's temporary. Growth is underway. And practical applications for all of this, for work and life, I'm going to cover 3 different areas: career, relationships, and personal growth. And hopefully you'll be able to take away at least one of these points. In your career, if you're considering a job change, resist to clinging to just that familiar, just for security. Research, learn new tools, and practice networking. There are so many online courses all around the world and every language take advantage of those and not only start them, but finish those courses. So if you are staying in your career, but you want more fulfillment, well, propose new projects that stretch your abilities. I speak about this actually. And don't hesitate to get help with this process, especially to think and plan through your plans. So in relationships, midlife often brings really a shift in family roles. Children leave home, aging parents needing care, or new dynamics with a spouse. This happens so many times at this time of life. So lean into that discomfort of changing those roles by focusing on empathy, communication, really, and flexibility and personal growth. I'm constantly reminded this if we now have adult children and our communication style is much different than when our sons were growing up. And it's been a mindset shift for me, believe me, but it's very rewarding in so many ways. It's exciting actually. So now in personal growth, very important. Try something you've always been curious about. I mean, this could be painting, writing, public speaking, or traveling solo. And these pursuits not only expand your skills, but they remind you that reinvention, it can be joyful and fun. And there are so many travel opportunities as well. One of our favorite travel groups, it's an active group, is Backroads Tours. So I put the link to that into this article, and I also have some videos online you can check out. So what is the gift of the uncomfortable? Here's the truth. Life doesn't get easier by just avoiding discomfort. It gets richer when we embrace it. Discomfort often is the doorway to discovering the purpose and passion that we've been circling around for years. And when you become just comfortable with the uncomfortable, you stop running from change and you start running toward possibility. So even some songs remind us of this. And one song that I wrote is The Hero Inside. In the article, I'll put a link to that as well. The lyrics, standing in the food line, humble to the core, not doing what you've worked so hard for. I wrote those words in response to a good friend who is a very talented engineer who was facing a difficult time in his life. He had lost his job and he found himself scrambling just to feed his family. But the outcome? He reinvented his life and he's doing extremely well right now. It pushed him toward that reinvention. He's doing so well, so happy. So, what are some application takeaways we have here? Number one, discomfort is not a warning, it's a signal of growth. That's a mindset. Number two, your values anchor you when everything else just feels so uncertain. You're on rocky ground. And number three, community strengthens resilience. Surround yourself with good friends, close circle. Number four, small, brave steps compound into big results. Believe me, that's so true. And number five, trust the process. Discomfort is just temporary, but growth, it's lasting. At the halftime of life, many people just settle. They circle within their own comfort zones, not wanting change, hoping stability will just protect them. But the truth is that the second half of your life, it can be your most powerful chapter if you're willing to embrace that discomfort and grow through it. So today, don't fear the unfamiliar. Step into it, lean into it, get comfortable with that uncomfortable because, on the other side, that discomfort may be the very life that you were meant to live. I hope this is so encouraging to you. Again, we speak to those at mid-career, halftime of life, answering what's next. You might stay in your work and stay in your job, want more fulfillment. You might want to do something totally different. Maybe you've retired. Maybe you are retiring and you're wondering what to do after the first 3 days of not having the work you've been at for a long time. We help you through some of those processes. Again, connect with us. We love to help people with these transitions. So enjoy this episode, enjoy the article that comes with it. And I will look forward, Deborah Johnson, to being with you again next time. So bye-bye for now. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. I love bringing you insights to help you maximize your skills, resources, and experience at mid-career and beyond so that you can make your next chapter your most impactful and purposeful yet. I'm Deborah Johnson, and I can't wait to be with you again next time on the Power of After show.